We are here in the middle of a forest. Is this cool or what?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It gives me great honor to introduce Scott Chad. But I want to give you a little bit of his background first. But before I do that, I have to tell you, I have 2 sons, and their names are Scott and Chad. And this is Scott Chad. It's amazing. I looked at that and go, whoa, okay. I met Scott back in January when I decided I was going to get a bonsai tree. Scott was very adamant, bonsai versus bonsai. Bonsai are the guys in the airplanes that dive. Bonsai are the trees. So I bought Georgie, because I name things. And so I bought Georgie and then went and attended a class that Scott gave so I could learn the science behind it. Fell in love with the bonsais and invited Scott to come talk to us because it is artistry. It's not like what we do necessarily, but it is artistry. A little bit of Scott's background. He served in Vietnam and Korea with the Army Combat Engineers. He also taught at West Point. I mean, check that out. He earned his doctorate degree in public administration, serving 34 years in public service. And he's been growing bonsai trees since 1972. He owns and runs with his trusty right hand Nikki Scott, is it 5 acres? 5-acre lotus bonsai nursery.
Wow.
And it'll blow you away. First of all, getting there is like going on vacation because it's this windy country road into Lotus. And the trees out there, am I exaggerating 6,000? There's a lot of trees. There are a lot of trees. Nikki takes care of them, and so does Scott. Anyway, with that, please give a big round welcome to Scott and Nikki, and we can learn about bonsais.
Scott, change it over here, kiddo, just a second.
You tell me if I'm on back there.
Hold on, we gotta change.
Cool. You're good turnout today.
Can you
Good
hear?
afternoon.
Yeah, he's live.
I've done probably 50 of these sorts of presentations over the years. And it's interesting, in San Francisco, they have a club that has a couple of hundred members who show up at the Golden Gate Park. And half the members are men and half the members are women. In Placerville, Roseville, Colfax, up here in the country, the garden clubs are almost entirely made up of women. Very few men members of the garden club. I think that that's because you women are healthier and stronger than the men. You just live longer. Bonsai started about 4,000 years ago in China. Like many things, they had their beginning in China. The Chinese were writing poetry and doing music and plays when our ancestors were hitting each other in the head with sticks. So they have a head start on us. So this is an Asian art form, bonsai. Bon means ceramic tray. Sai means tree. So it's kind of a fiendish thing. I guess that's what comes with getting a doctorate. The thing is saying bonsai tree is a little strange because you're saying pot with tree. So I would prefer people to say bonsai, although often you'll find bonsai tree in the literature. So I started in 1972. I had just returned to California from working for a big multinational engineering company in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I had long red hair and big beard, 72, I was right in there. And in Pittsburgh, all of the cohorts were these big, huge, thick, dark Estonians, Lithuanians, Latvians, and they got a big kick out of trying to kill me on these construction sites, dropping things on me, running over me, sending me out in places where it was not survivable. Somehow I managed to end up here. I worked for Jerry Brown as a consultant, 1975. My last engagement was a consultant for the city of Manteca. Call it Manteca down there. Lots and lots of powder and tabs going around and around. And so I've been retired for about 15 years now. I'm 82, which I guess puts me officially in the geezer category, fourscore and, a noticeable limp. So bonsai is started in China. It was started by the masters of the universe. And it's the same way now, today. A lot of people who are into bonsai are very highly capitalized. And they can't shut the voices off. Because we have a bicameral mind, left and right, there's always a constant conversation going on up here between the presentation of self in everyday life and then the observation of the results of that presentation. And that's a conversation that's had by us all. When I was teaching graduate students, I would tell my students about the conversation that they were having. I would say, you have this conversation right now. And they're like, no, we don't. We don't talk to ourselves. Of course you do, you can't help it. And the only way to still the chatter is to engage in a meditative pursuit that causes most of the mind to take the time off. And so the many lovely things about bonsai, but one of them is that if you grab a hold of a sharp tool and you start working on a life form, a metabolizer just like yourself, by the way, after about 10 or 15 minutes, your eyes and your hand are fully involved in the task. I call it moving Zen. And you're working on a piece of living art. And so about 80% of what's between your ears is fully occupied with the task at hand, which means the other 20% is like, hey, Phil, get a sixer, let's go tubing. We got the day off. We don't have to talk to those dummies over there on the left anymore. So bonsai is a way to have a chance to catch your breath and to give your mind a few minutes off from all of its busy activities that are carried out pretty much 24 hours a day, one way or another. So in China, 4,000 years ago, the artists and the merchants and the wealthy people found that when they went out into the mountains and walked around, their tummy quit hurting, It was easier for them to breathe. Things sort of looked clearer and more simple to them. And so they, being brilliant people, said, we want to bring the forest into the city because we can't go out into the forest often enough to attain the type of good results that we would like. So they hired people such as myself to go out in the forest and bring a forest giant into the city garden. Now, as you can imagine, or maybe not, depends on how much time you've spent in Asia, even 4,000 years ago, it was quite dense with people, very crowded. A big garden in Asia is the size of these two tables. So to bring a forest giant into the city so that the master of the universe could enjoy it, we had to shrink it, we had to make it small. And so what we're attempting to do in much of this, you can hold on to that, is we want the viewer to suspend disbelief. We want the viewer to think that they're looking at something that's actually much smaller than what they think it is. They look like, how did they get that great big tree in there? So Goethe, one of these German philosophers, he talked a lot about global archetypes. I know because you're an art group, you're all aware of Fibonacci numbers and the golden ratio and all these kinds of things that appear in any visual art form. This is a visual art form that is alive, that changes every day. That's one of the things that makes it fun. I did a presentation down in San Francisco for the masters of the universe down there. And they were supposed to show up at 7, and then they would have a Japanese meal with sake and Japanese beer, and then we would work on these trees that I brought. And they own an office building on Broadway, right across from the Hungry Eye, the 5-story office building. And the top of it is a residential condo, and it's all glass. And so you're up there, you know, and there's Coit Tower, and there's the Bay Bridge, and Transamerica, you could hit it with rock. So they come up, and they start showing up about 7, and the men are all these 6'4", dressed in $10,000 suits with $1,500 pair of shoes, and the women are all starved to perfection, you know, and I start talking to them about what we're going to do, and I'm saying, after about 20 minutes of doing this together, you'll find that the chatter has stilled, although it'll be very noisy. You'll be hooting and hollering and yelling and drinking beer and stuff. But the internal dialogue has stopped. And it takes an effort to realize that it's actually happened. When I work out in the nursery of a day, you know, I'll go out in the morning with my jacket on and a cup of coffee and start working on the trees. And after about, 15 or 20 minutes, I take my jacket off. And an hour or so later, my tummy will start to growl, and I'm like, well, maybe I probably ought to get something to eat. But other than that, there's nothing going on. It's an empty-headed life. And as you look around the world at philosophers from all the various cultures, you find that there's a great romance with the creation of internal silence, internal quiet, stillness. It's talked about more in Asia than it is in Europe, where the white people live, because the Asians got into this 2,000 years before we did. So they perfected a way of being amongst themselves that allows them, they have occasional war, you know, where they slaughter 40 or 50% of the population. But other than that, everybody kind of gets along because you know you have to. If the wall between your house and your neighbor's house is made out of paper, and you have to be cautious in your activities and the acoustic situation that you're involved in as you conduct yourself. So all of this brings us to this art form. We brought some today that are colorful. We have on the end, Euonymus alata compacta. Common name is burning bush. And in Placerville, you'll see quite a few of them in front yards. And this time of year, they turn bright red. And then behind it is a juniper, and it tumbles out of the little pot. And you'll notice that one of the pots is glazed and it's blue, and then right behind it is a pot that's unglazed, more of a camel color. And it's tall and narrow instead of short and oval. There's a reason for all that. And I could teach you if we had a little more time, but I won't. So this is the blue one on the end, the oval, is considered a feminine pot. The one up on the taller stand is considered a masculine pot. The one next here is even more masculine. It's rectangular. It has feet that are like little bricks under the corner. And by masculine, of course, I mean, people chuckle and they're like, yeah, dumb. But masculine in this particular usage means angular, strong, solid, emphatically capable and grounded. That's a masculine pot. Some of you know men, you understand that stuff. Feminine pot is often much more delicate in its design, much softer in the lines, often glazed, shiny. Instead of big blocky feet, it might have what we call cloud feet or delicate feet that are barely noticeable. That's a feminine pot over there on the end. There's another one. Masculine pot, masculine tree. Pines and junipers are considered masculine. Trident maples are masculine because they're vigorous growers, they're very angular, they're real strong. You won't see one of them ever blow over. They're tough, masculine, tough guys. This is a Japanese maple. This is considered a feminine tree. Although this tree is a bit confused because of the size of the trunk in relationship to the height of the tree. This one was started from a seed about 12 years ago. And I had a growing ground up in Oroville where there's a million stories in the Naked City, but turns out I met this guy and his wife over in Santa Rosa at the Golden State Bonsai Federation convention, annual convention coming up this weekend down in Santanella. And even people from all over the world, including me and the lovely and vivacious Nikki. She picks things up for me. Thank God for that. So he and his wife, at that point in time, I had about 100 Chinese elms. I have 6 of them left. They're about this big around, not that high. But at that was in 2003, Santa Rosa at the Hilton. And they came around to our table and we had 6 of these smaller Chinese elms there for sale. And they were $800 to $1,000 for these little trees. And they were just salmon pink and gold. I mean, they were just beautiful, with leaves about the size of a pencil eraser. So anyway, the wife fell in love with the tree. I want that one. And we said, okay, it's $900, plus tax. Well, I'll come back and get it. And I said, ma'am, you're at a place that is literally full of bonsai people. Everybody here is into bonsai. And if you don't buy this tree now while you're standing here looking at it, when you get back, it ain't gonna be here. I can guarantee you, because it's a very unusual specimen, very beautiful and hard to come by. So anyway, she came back, gone. So she burst into tears and started beating up on her husband, which was the most rational thing to do. Y'all get dummies. And so anyway, Bill, the guy, the husband, he said, well, we have a little nursery over in Oroville, and you guys should stop by. And we said, sure. So we did on the way home, and it's 270 acres right on the Feather River. It's called Western Tree, and it's now 450 acres, has 170 employees, 8 semi-tractor trailer trucks driving in and out of there all day. Western Tree sells to the people who sell to the people who sell to the people who sell to you. You can't get in there. Big lock gate. But anyway, Bill is my buddy. He ended up with a beautiful big elm. And after about 2 years, he said, why don't we plant some of your bonsai here behind the house? I have about an acre that's just sitting there, fallow. Well, take this thing when it's the size of a magic marker, put it in the ground next to the Feather River. It's growing in what's called Columbia loam. That's why when you drive up Highway 70, all you see are orchards, because it's a perfect place to grow trees. So we plant this little bugger in the ground and it sits there for like a year. And you can hear them, the little guys, talking to each other. Yo, Bob, you feel your shoes? I don't have shoes on no more, man. I'm barefoot. Matter of fact, I can kind of spread out, And so the next year they grow about 3 feet, and the year after that they grow about 8 feet. And when they do that, of course, the trunk gets big. And one of the things there's all kinds of tricks to fooling you in bonsai. And one of them is to put something small, these leaves are pretty small, next to something big. Okay? That makes this whole composition look larger, appear larger than it really is. If I went around here today and I trimmed this little critter back, which is, they make a huge mess here. But now is the time of year when we often take off probably 80% of the leaves. So you can see all the little twigs and branches. So I would have my shears, and I would be taking parts of this tree away, okay? I would be removing mass from the object, and guess what? It gets bigger. You tell me, you guys are artists, you know, that's a tough perspective. Big trees are objects that you can normally see through. I'm inspired by nature. I spent a lot of time walking around over Carson Pass or down by Yosemite, 8, 10, 12,000 feet. Little trees have this sort of shrubby appearance. Big trees, you can see through them. Big trees have bigger trunks at the bottom than they do at the top. The higher you go in the tree, the more fine and delicate the foliage gets. Big trees have movement. The trunk and the branches are twisted. They're not straight. The same with human beings. Okay? Many of you have seen a little 3-year-old run around in the yard, and they look like little helium balloons. Like they're being pulled along by their heads, you know, and their little bodies and feet are just trying to keep up with them. Okay? They're vertical, them little guys. They're vertical beings, you know. And trees are the same way. When they're young, they grow straight, because as the seed falls, as soon as it sprouts, it's a race with all of its brothers and sisters to the sun. Because these are phototropic. They live by light. No light, no life. So these young ones are all like, man. And then the older ones, the adult ones, are like this. They're out to the side. And then the old ones are stooped, and the branches hanging out. And the ancient ones are, you know, they try to grab a hold of the walker before it takes off down the driveway. The trees are the same. The trees are the same as we are. Why do we love trees? We love trees. 300,000 years ago, there's a little Australopithecine, you know, a little proto-human, maybe 2.5 feet tall. 45 pounds, so a big one. And she is looking at this tree out there in the savannah, and it has fruit. And she knows she can eat that fruit. It tastes good. And she's standing in the forest over here, and the fruit tree's about 80 feet out in the grass. And about 100 feet over this way is a lion. And the lion appears to be asleep. She wonders if she can scamper out there, get up that tree, grab the fruit, get back down, and come back over here without disturbing the lion. Okay? She has a genetic message that she needs to pass forward. It has to do with distance, velocity, and odds. Okay? So she goes out there, she gets up there, she grabs the fruit, runs back in there, tastes fabulous. The lion doesn't even bat an eye. And she's like, okay. He was asleep. So when you cross the street here in Placerville, she's the reason that you don't have to stand on the curb looking both ways for 30 minutes, deciding whether or not it's safe for you to cross. Because she knew that she could go out there and come back. That got programmed into her. And it got passed down and down and down until when it gets to you, hey, I look both ways and I go. I don't even have to think about it, not conscious. Big trees attract us because they have shelter, they have food, they have firewood beneath them. We just like trees. There's another reason, by the way, more esoteric, a little bit stranger perhaps. The trees are green because there's a molecule inside the leaf called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. It's a big, long chain organic molecule. You know, like oxygen 1260, nitrogen 1570, and hydrogen 80, and potassium 6004. Okay. Big molecule. It's like if you're putting this together in your high school chemistry class, we had those Tinker Toy things, that the black was carbon and the white was the oxygen. Put them all together, it'd be like 10 feet long. But right in the middle of that great big organic molecule is an atom of magnesium. Magnesium. Okay? Magnesium burns green. If you set magnesium on fire, it burns green, bright green. These objects are metabolizers. You are metabolizers. You live the same way. You take materials into yourself from the surround. Metabolism is combustion. You burn those materials for energy to make more of yourself, and you exit metabolic waste products, just like these guys do. Okay? So chlorophyll, green, right? Combustion, metabolizer, okay? You have a molecule in your body that serves the same function as the chlorophyll molecule serves to the tree. It allows you to take in things that are not you. I'm magnetic, huh? To take in things that are not you. And to metabolize them and use them for your own benefit. And survive that process. So this molecule is called hemoglobin. And it looks exactly like the molecule of chlorophyll. If we did our Tinker Toy thing, couldn't tell them apart. They look the same. Except in the middle of this big molecule of hemoglobin is an atom of iron. And iron burns red. So your blood is red, the tree is green, but they're doing the same thing. They're using that molecule to convert, process energy and objects into proteins, carbohydrates, and sugars to make more of you. Or to engage in the pleasant process of replication. If you're a younger person and that's your bag. This is my tool set. It's like the old mechanic, he had all these tools. I said, Charles, why do you have all of these tools? He said, I've been doing this too long. Because you find there's there's something that you need to do to your tree that you can only do with this thing. I mean, what the heck? But it's that one thing, if you don't have this, you can't do that. Interestingly enough, so the tool makers in Japan have been making these tools for 600 years. The designs have not changed. They're expensive. But if you get into bonsai, you'll find that it's almost like my old buddy the mechanic. You know, spending money on tools is money well spent. Almost without exception. Because tools are our friends, you know, they multiply our strength and our ability to do things. And cheap tools are like, you know, trying to fix a watch with mittens on. It's just, it don't make any sense. Okay. So you have bonsai here in front of you, a couple on the table. The work that we do is to provide them with a form that is attractive to the eye. Bonsai is visual art. Alive, which is different from most of the visual art that you folks create, but it's art in the eyes. A lot of my students say, how do you define art? I mean, what? How come this is art and that's not art? And I define art as the object that you look at and you want to continue looking at it. You want to continue looking at it. Gertrude Stein went over to Paris shortly after the First World War and hung out with Picasso, Renoir, Matisse, all those guys. And she bought a painting from Henri Matisse. It's called Lady with the Blue Hat. She paid, I think, 30 or 40 bucks for it. She brought it home. She lived in Oakland. And in the 1950s, she gave it to the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art. Along with my business cards and my flyer, I forgot my lady with the blue hat. I'm going to show you. Every time I go to the MoMA, I go to the little gallery to the left of the the stores here. There's a little gallery right there. And Lady with the Blue Hat has been hanging in that little gallery for like 75 years. It's art. It's amazing work of art. But it was done in what came to be known as the Fauvist tradition. And these, who's the guy that did the Starry, Starry Night, cut off his ear?
Van Gogh.
He was,
I pulled up, is that?
there it is, Lady with the Blue Hat.
Here, I'll show it to the camera.
I have my helpers.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Kathy.
Oh, thank you so much. So, Lady with the Blue Hat. Turned out that Matisse's wife, the painting is now worth like $25 million instead of $40. I have tried to count the different colors in her blue hat. And I get up around 100 and I get exhausted because the closer I look, and of course I get my big glass out, because I want to make sure I got it right. And every time I look, there's more. So Lady with a Blue Hat is art. And it was done by Fauvus, and Fauve means savage. And that's the way they were characterized by those in the know at the turn of the century. They thought these guys are nuts. I mean, a starry, starry night, who would even take that thing home? You know, it's just a bunch of big daubs of paint smashed onto this can. Well, turns out the Fauvists were onto something. The world was changing. And they were in fiery recognition of that alteration of the surround. They could not do anything else as artists except paint what they saw. And that's what they saw. And of course, it was Michelangelo and Da Vinci and all that stuff of super realism. And then along comes this herd of like wild goats, you know, marching through the museum. So art is something you want to look at. It's the same way with bonsai. If it works, you look at it, where did that little guy go? Is he at the back there somewhere? There he is.
You want me to bring him out?
Thank you. This little guy works because the trunk is bigger than a pencil. Thank you so much. You can see the trunk in there, most of you. You saw it as it came out. It has movement. It has small leaves. So people pick this object up and they would look at it, and as they turned it, you know, and changed the perspective of their view, they would see more and more and more. And like all art, bonsai is, yeah, bonsai. Or, huh? You know, you see it in when you show your work or you share it. I mean, some people come in and they're just like, they just go towards it. And the closer they get, the more they want to see it. And some people, they don't even know it's there. I was the president of the American Bonsai Association in Sacramento back in the 80s. And we used to put on a bonsai display at Cal Expo in the horticultural building, down in that amphitheater with those 4 big concrete towers right next to where you go into the midway. And it was it was pretty spectacular, because we had guys from all over California submitting bonsai to be placed in that exhibit. And the state paid us $1,250 to mount that exhibit in there for 2 weeks. And this is sort of a sign of the times. The last year we displayed our bonsai at the state fair was almost 10 years ago. The state fair said, well, we're only going to give you $800. We thought, that's fine. We know we do it for free. Because we'd hand out cards, like you guys do, you know, sign up. And then, we're not going to pay you anything for the display. Then, we're not going to put you in the horticultural building anymore, which is this just, you've been there, just glorious, quiet waterfall. It's kind of dark. It's very nice. we're gonna put you over by livestock. And, you know, we have these beautiful art objects that are, some of them are worth thousands of dollars. And we're like, okay. Okay, so we did it. And we moved out there amongst the cows and the pigs and the goats and the sheep, you know. And standing, you know, we have our display, and now we're at these tables instead of these beautiful display stands. And the club had about 120 members at that point in time. And so we take turns, you know, sign up to volunteer for 4 hours. And I go there maybe 2 or 3 days, you know, during the fair. And some people would just be knocked out by the art. I mean, they'd be walking on, they'd stop, you know, and go towards it. And they would say, the questions I would say, is it alive? How old is it? How much does it cost? Those are all 3 questions. Is it alive? How old is it? How much does it cost? I said, yeah, it's alive. It's older than your grandma. It costs more money than you got. Just to twist their tail, you know. But then the next year, the state fair said, we're going to move you again. And we said, nah, you know, move somebody else. We're going to show our wares in a different place. But I will bet you $1 to a jug of buttermilk, as I stood there for like 6 or 8 hours behind. 95% of the people never even saw it. They never even saw what we had. They just trudged, I think, on by. So many people are unable to live in the present, unable to understand that the life that they are carrying is precious, and it's the only one they're ever going to have. It just doesn't even occur to them. We're treasuring. That's a beer garden, man. I mean, you know. And so that's 95% don't see it. And then out of the 5%, 3% see it, but like that. They just glance at it. They don't slow down. They keep on going. And then 2% see it. And it knocks them out. They're like, dang, dude. That's a pine tree? Son of a bitch. You know, they'd be like all over, pawing on it and stuff. So, you know, it's reflective, I think, of a cultural value system that we have. That you know, tie me down, because I'm fighting like a tiger against it. But this takes time. Okay? This tree here, I grew from a seed. It's 20 years old. That tree's from a seed, it's probably 40 years old. So I talk to people and I'm like, it's going to take some time. Well, I don't have any time. What do you mean? Of course you have time. You're alive, you're conscious, you're metabolizing. I heard you burp. I know you're alive. Okay? So use it for something. You know, utilize your existence to make the world a better place. Give yourself the reward of beauty and companionship. It's so vital, and it is so far away from us. Now, I feel, I'm old enough, I've seen a lot of stuff come and go. But this sort of space that we've somehow managed to get ourselves stuck in is not very good. So bonsai is one door that will lead you out of that sort of emotional and spiritual cul-de-sac, you know, that you get stuck in from time to time. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Yes.
In the back?
Yes, like a little tree like that, would you keep it outside?
Yes? Yes. All of these trees live outdoors all year long. Yes?
Do you train the tree I've seen them wrapped with wires before.
Yeah,
Do you do that too?
we do. We took all the wire off that one. There's still wire on that little juniper down there. Yeah.
I'm particularly fascinated by this one right here, the little dude. Did that grow naturally from seed, or did
Yeah.
you did it really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
California buckeye make good bonsai? Do California buckeye make good bonsai?
No, I've grown them. They're very easy to grow. They lose their leaves first. The California buckeye leaves are all gone. And they bring their new leaves first. January, February, the buckeye are leafing out. The buckeye has a leaf.
That's so beautiful.
Different strokes for different folks. And it has a small twig. So in a bonsai pot, you have a trunk the size of your thumb with a leaf the size of a dinner plate.
Oh,
And the perspective is not believable. Yes?
I have a Japanese maple in my backyard in a pot, and I believe this is a Japanese maple here.
Yes, ma'am.
If it was started by seed from a larger tree I have. And the thickness of the trunk is about equal to one of these right now.
Ah,
You know, it's just a long piece of it. Could I cut it back and just keep cutting it back, or is that how you started? No.
no. But the thing is, you know, there's an old saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And you don't get a second chance to start the bonsai. I mean, it's started. And that tree that you have, if it has a trunk like that size of my thumb, it's probably 3 feet tall.
Yes.
And so what happens when you cut it, the rule that's been passed around here on the West Coast is 6 to 1. 1 diameter to 6 high is the proper,
6 feet.
yeah. So if the diameter is 1/2 inch, the Japanese maple is going to be 3 inches tall. What happens is if you cut it at 3 inches, the tree has this huge root structure that's programmed to feed this superstructure, right? But when you take that superstructure away, the tree just explodes. There just growth everywhere. And then what do? You know, you got this little stump that big with 35 little whips the size of pencil erasers coming off of it. You might be able to do something kind of cool, but boy, oh boy,
But not a bonsai.
could be, could be.
So how do you start a bonsai?
Costs money. my teacher, George, 1972, I was driving on Bell Road between Interstate 80 and Highway 49. And there was a little nursery there at the corner of Bell Road and Highway 49. It's a 20-acre. He sold it for $10 million. But it was just nothing there, it was just out in the middle of nowhere. So I stopped and I walked around behind the house, and it looked kind of like my house. Had these stands with all these beautiful trees. So I was wandering around back there, you know, and after about 20 minutes, this little tiny Japanese guy came out of the back of the house. And he goes, "You want to buy a bonsai?" I said, "Well, I don't know. I don't have one. Don't know anything about them." He said, "You want a drink?" It was like 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. I said, "Well, what are we drinking?" He said, "Single malt scotch." And I said, "Let's do it, you know." So he and I sat down on his little porch, and his wife, who is smaller than he is, she brings out a big bucket of ice cubes, a basket with little rice crackers, a couple of really beautiful glasses, and this $200 bottle of scotch. And so George does the honors and pours, and we start drinking, and you know how one thing leads to another. Pretty soon it's like 5:30, and we're giggling and trying not to fall out of our chairs. And I hit it off with him. You know how sometimes you just connect, you know, you just connect with somebody. That's what happened to me and George. And at that time, he was my age. He was in his early 80s, and I was 30-something. He lived to be 103. And I killed that bonsai in like a week, maybe. So I went back there. And he said, "You want to buy a bonsai?" I said, "I'll tell you what, George. If you'll show me how to keep it alive and how to take care of it, I'll buy it." He said, "Sure." So it turns out we became great friends. And we're in El Dorado County. If you go out Cold Springs Road and you go down to the Wakamatsu silk place there, and you go down to that little school right below it on the right, you'll see a huge stone where you enter the parking lot there at the school, and it has a plaque. And there are some junipers there and a couple of pine trees, huge stone. And George Yamasaki and Al Veerkamp built that little Asian garden there, right at the corner of the Wakamatsu property and the school property. Long time ago, 1970s. More questions?
I have a question. How much do you water these, and do these
Every
pots-
day I water them.
Oh, they don't have a drain hole on them?
Oh, they have
No.
dozens of drain holes.
Oh, they do?
Fast as you pour the water, we forgot our soil like that. Yeah, we were gonna bring, in addition to what we brung, we were gonna bring flyers, class schedule and stuff, business cards, soil, so we could talk to you about bonsai soil, very important. We don't got none of that. Bonsai soil, there's a trick to this. This is a vigorous little maple tree in a really small space, really small. So how do we keep it so alive and healthy in such a tiny little spot? Well, we plant it in rock. There's no soil, there's no organic material in here. The pot gets wet and the pot dries out. Hello?
Maybe.
Tell them you're busy. So the pot gets wet, the pot dries out. It gets wet and it dries out. Wet, dry. Trees love that. They love to be soaking wet and then bone dry.
Why?
And then soaking wet and then bone dry. Because that's in their rhythm. It's in their nature. Fruit trees are the same way. You water the fruit tree in March and you don't water it again. March, April, May, June, July, August, start harvesting. Because the fruit tree is down there. Okay? So our bonsai get watered every day. I mean watered, not spritzed or mist. Water. As fast as we put water at the top of the pot, it shoots out the bottom. And that makes the tree really happy and healthy.
So Scott, can you take a couple of minutes and explain the science behind how a 400-year-old tree or any of these trees can be in a very shallow pot?
The roots that keep the trees alive don't need to be real big. Matter of fact, when you come to the nursery and you take a Trident maple out of a 1-gallon nursery can and put it like in that little rectangular pot there, we cut off all the big roots. The big roots are on the tree to hold it into the soil, to keep it from blowing over. They're down here to store proteins, carbohydrates, and sugar. If you're looking at this object, the production facility is the leaf. The transportation facility is this artifact, a tree and a branch. And the warehousing is in the pot. That's where all the proteins, carbohydrates, and sugars go to hang out. And the roots that keep this tree alive are no bigger than a pencil bed. Because small roots are way more efficient than big roots. Okay? Because the water and the nutrients, they have to cross a boundary from out here to tree. And that ain't an easy thing to do, to go from the environment into the tree. So the little roots, they make it easy. The big roots, the little water molecule doesn't bump his head against that root. There's no place for him to get in. These trees move fluids by capillary action. Remember I talked about metabolism and combustion? Imagine that little maple there is an oil lamp. And it's not lit. It's just sitting there, full of oil. So I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna turn up the wick a little bit. And I'm gonna light it. It's gonna start burning. And it's gonna create heat, light, and waste products, black smoke. Okay? The heat and the light I can use, the black smoke don't matter to me. When the fire gets started up here, the petroleum molecule combusts, produces heat, light, and smoke. And then it's gone. Okay? So because it's gone, there's room down there inside the lamp for another petroleum molecule to cross from the liquid into the wick. Another one burns off, another one could go in. They're like little soldiers marching up there towards the fire. every time one of them ignites, it makes room for one more to enter. That's called capillary action. It's a great thing. You have capillaries. We don't set them on fire.
How do they do in the house?
Don't.
They don't do in the house?
No. Bring them in. I have some that are what we call subtropicals, ficus, different plants. But I don't like them. I like the outdoor ones. I like to watch these changes changing, right? The chlorophyll molecule is one of the strongest molecules in nature. You know how Arnold, have a big muscle guy? Chlorophyll molecules are like that. They're really strong. And for the tree to get ready for next year, it has to drop all of these leaves. Well, as you can see, some are red, some are green. The green ones, they're still photosynthesizing. They're still hard at work. The red ones, they're being taken out. How do we do that? It's hard. It's not easy to kill a big ass molecule that has all of those strong valent bonds. It's hard to make it die. It don't want to die. It's like the hemoglobin in your body. That stuff, it goes, we are the hemoglobin. It's 3 cheers for us. We make the body work. Same thing with the chlorophyll. So what happens? The tree sends in a bunch of ninjas. They're called anthocyanins. They're not green. They're red. They're like the devil. They're assassins. And they come in and they kill the chlorophyll, and when the chlorophyll dies, no more gray. Red now. Yeah?
How do we contact you?
That is the question. And if I had a...
I've got some information on that as we shut this down.
Because I don't know.
What was the name of your
I
nursery?
found them,
Longest
you
bonsai.
guys can too. Yeah. It would be an adventure going to the nursery. It is so beautiful. Scott, I hate to shut you down. Do you want to quickly say what these are?
We brought along 36 4-inch pots, which looks like it's going to be about right, of a product that we love. We got this from George Yamasaki 50 years ago. Called dwarf mondo grass. And mine has, see the little green berries. This has beautiful little berries. They're bright, bright green that turn runway light purple in December. I mean, they're like electric purple. So there's at least one for each of you. Take them all. Inside each 4-inch pot, there are like 20 little corms, that you can pull out and plant and pull out. And every one you plant will grow. You have my word. And this is walkable landscape. Chinese gardeners use this a lot in landscape where they want it to be soft and walkable, but green. This guy never gets any bigger than this. It just spreads.
Does it
So-
do well in the snow?
It loves the snow.
Oh, good, okay.
5 feet, 10, what? Hey. Snow, frost, freeze,
And how about the heat?
heat, rain, lightning, thunder.
How much water does it want? How much water does it want?
They like a lot of water, they like no water. They're like WWE. You guys, you can watch wrestling. You're like, what? You gotta be crazy to watch that
What's
stuff.
it called again?
Dwarf mondo grass. M-O-N-D-O. Mondo grass.
Good. And with that, I just thank you. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Scott. It turned out to be quite a science lesson as well. Wonderful, thank you. But I do want to tell you that Scott does have a website, and it is Lotus Bonsai Nursery. All you got to do is plug that into the URL, and it'll pull it up, and it's in Lotus. The website is beautiful. Did your wife handle the website?
Yeah.
And it's got all of the classes. Scott holds a lot of classes. And I attended one, and they're fabulous. I mean, you learn the science behind it, and you even get to plant a bonsai and take it home. It's fabulous. If you do need more information, please contact me, okay? Kathy Kyle, and I will give you as much information and probably more than you bargained for, okay?
And the website again is?
Lotus Bonsai Nursery.
LotusBonsai.com.
Yes.
That's what I got on my phone.
Okay, well, I always just, Google, and then it comes up with the website. Okay, just a couple of quick announcements before we do go for the break.
You're not mic'd.
I know. Can
You
you
won't-
guys hear me?
The camera can't come toward me.
Oh, okay. A couple of announcements. Has everybody who brought something to share for the dog and cat show signed up on the sign-up sheet? Okay, good. You did? You didn't? Yeah, the sign-up sheet is over there. Okay. Also, I have put together a sign-up sheet for the Christmas brunch, which is going to be December 12th at the Sportsman's Bar again. And if you are going to be attending December 12th at 10:30, please sign up here, and that will eliminate you having to contact me later, okay? Sign up for that. And also, there are some freebies, art, what do you call it? Art
Supplies.
supplies that is over there. If you see something you like, take it, okay? Free gratis. I'd love to get rid of it. Okay, and with that, let's take a break, and let's be back in about 12 minutes, okay? Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome back. I've got just a couple of short, quick announcements, and then we will do our challenge share, okay? First of all, Shirley Rowe, where are you, Shirley? Okay, Shirley's in the back. Shirley is the choir director for our Christmas brunch, our holiday brunch. And if you would like to join her choir as a singer, please contact Shirley. She's looking for more singers. They've got 4 now. And to get a choir together with the harmony, she'd like a few more. So use your voice and contact Shirley, okay? Sound good, Shirley?
Sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. The mother load, was Carolyn here? Okay,
Really quick.
Carolyn is here and she's up front.
I'm not
Okay.
taking, I don't need a microphone. Just to remind you, Mother Lode opens November 6th, runs through the 22nd. You're gonna have to go look at the hours, because I always forget what the hours are. The MAC is only open, I think officially, 3 days a week?
Maybe 4, I don't
Okay,
know.
maybe 4. The reception though is Friday, November 7th. Music, food, wine, and of course lots of art. And then just want to remind you that Leslie McCarran was our judge, or is our judge. They haven't been judged yet. Intake is the 28th. Some of you are signed up to help with intake. Thank you very much. And to sit hours. If anybody is available November 13th, From 2 o'clock to 4:30, we still have one open spot for sitting at the welcome desk.
Okay, before you leave, do you want to do any kind of a recap on the member show? How
Yeah, we had a
many-
member show.
It was a good member show.
It was a great member show. Thank you for all of you who participated. We had 4 sales. We sold both pieces of the silent auction. And the person that bought both of them was absolutely thrilled. I don't know what else to say. If you didn't get to see the show, you can at least see the winners on our YouTube channel, right?
Absolutely. And did you guys like to be able to sign up in advance?
For
That was good? You like that? You want us to keep that? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, everybody said a resounding yes, right?
yes.
Okay, and how many pieces did we have entered?
110 pieces, I believe.
Okay, that makes a very successful show. Sue, where are you, Sue? Okay, here's Sue. Sue's going to give us a bit of a recap, or not a recap, but an overview of our 60th anniversary gathering next meeting.
Yeah, next meeting is going to be a week from today. I believe that's on the 17th.
A month from today.
A month from today.
A month from today. Oh, I say a week, excuse me. I'm trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to do. Anyway, yeah, you are all welcome. We're going to have some lifelong members discuss some of the things that they have done through the years and what they found was very encouraging and exciting to them. So come and listen to that. We are going to have a catered snacks in the next room. So we're trying to make sure that we have enough room for everybody. So please come. It'll be really fun, and it'll be at 2:30 to 4:30, I believe.
Yeah.
And we also will have our Motherlode Show Judge Leslie McCarron here for that meeting. And at the beginning of the meeting, she will discuss the Motherlode Show Awards.
Okay, don't miss it. It should be a rousing success. We are looking for a historian. That is someone who kind of keeps the records recorded about what we're doing. It's a fun job to do. It is a board position, and you get to come to the board meetings. So think about it. Think about it, okay?
I already spoke to Marilyn, and it's not something I can do.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you for speaking to Marilyn. Okay, great. We're also looking for a webmaster. So that's a little bit more technical, but if you are interested in managing our website, don't hesitate.
See me.
Linnell speaking.
Yes, see me. If you have a desire to take the Placerville Arts Association website to the next level, let's work on that. So come see me.
Okay? Talk to Linnell. She's the go-to person. We're going to go ahead and do our share, but don't leave because we've got 2 flower bouquets to raffle off. This time I'm not going to forget, okay? Okay. All right. So with that, let's proceed. Christmas brunch. Anybody? We've got Terry and Jean Meyer, and we've got Debbie and Carolyn. Anybody else that's coming to the Christmas brunch? Okay, please. It helps to sign up now as opposed to remembering to contact me, because I do need to get back to Sportsman's Bar and Grill to let them know how many, okay?
If you want to send it around, send it around. Pass it
I
around.
want to send it around. I think I can do that. That's perfect.
Roberta, will you put my name on it, please?
Okay, yeah, I didn't put your name down
Yeah,
yet.
and
I'll
Roberta,
put you down.
thank you,
Maybe
Roberta.
I did, I don't know, I don't remember.
You didn't call me off, yeah.
And, you know, do it legibly. So I can tell who you guys are, okay? Please, I'm not a doctor. Okay, so with that, we're going to, who's first? Linnell? Pick me, Linnell.
All right, so the challenge was dogs and cats. And I get overstimulated a lot of the time. And I now have a dozen dogs and cats, but I brought you 2 of them to share. Now, of course, these were created with AI Mid-Journey. And then here's some dogs. And the cat prompt was umbrellas and cats in the rain, raincoats, and this one was hats and ties on dogs. And there you are.
That is really neat, and that's AI. And our next one up is Carolyn.
But I'm gonna share
Okay,
mine
you share.
and someone else's, but
Okay.
no,
No.
mom's the word. Okay, this is not my piece of art. This belongs to somebody in the room who would
No.
like to be left anonymous. Oh, I don't even know if they're here.
Beautiful.
And
They
we
don't want,
respect
they're
that.
very shy.
No.
What?
Is she here?
No. See, most of you already know, but she just doesn't like to be in the spotlight. She didn't want to talk, but I wanted you to see this. I will give it to her tomorrow because I will see her tomorrow. But she is a wonderful watercolorist, and I don't know why she's always so nervous. She got into motherlode with a watercolor, so I'm very excited for her. Okay. And I don't know if this is
You're
gonna,
gonna have to come closer.
tell me when.
Come closer. Oh yeah, we can see it, it's
Okay.
good.
I didn't do this for this prompt. I have a commission to do, so far 6, pet portraits. I'm getting a little tired of pet portraits. This is scratch board. And this one, and they're all pets of this person's grown children. She didn't know what else to get them for Christmas. She figured they don't need anything, but she gave me some really good photographs. I love this one. This was a great pose of this dog named Josie. And this is obviously not a dog. Is that good? Okay. This is Eddie. It's another scratch board. And this is Sweet Pea. And Sweet Pea is missing an eye, and they don't know what happened to it. They adopted Sweet Pea. So these are all scratch boards. I've done another one of a dog, but I did it in colored pencil because he just said I need to be done in colored pencil. Okay. So there we go.
You have glitter on your face.
I have glitter on my face?
Yeah, lucky you.
Patty is coming up now.
For those of you who are following my tribulations of the day, my power is back on.
This is my fat cat. I have a fat cat at home and a skinny cat, but I didn't bring the skinny cat. But the whiskers are wire, and it's ceramic. Set this down.
Yeah. My hands are full.
And this is my needle felted little corgi dog. This is when she was a puppy. She's a big girl now, but this is what she looked like when we got her. And the little toenails are made with pistachio shells that I cut up. She has little claws. And I went to Walmart and got her a tag. So she has her own tag. And this is called needle felting. You make the form and then you needle on the wool for the color.
Very nice.
Thank you.
She freaked me out when she was bending her leg.
Good job. Okay, next we have Darlene. Darlene, good, Darlene's coming up.
Oh, come on, don't, you're never.
Well, that's,
Apologize.
Darlene, that's what we're all about. Darlene's gonna be a little embarrassed. That's what we're all about. Come on up. Darlene's walking, she's coming up.
I did this before I really became an artist.
You gotta be in front of the camera.
Yeah, okay. But my daughter's girlfriend
was giving lessons how to paint on shirts. So I took it from her and I thought it was kind of fun. Yeah,
It's great. I love it. It's great.
Okay, Marilyn. And then
Who's after Marilyn?
Sue,
Okay.
okay?
I'm ready.
Oh, good.
And then Sherry. Okay, Marilyn, Sue, Sherry.
Am I too close?
You're good.
This is a watercolor that I did maybe 10 years ago. We got together, my daughters and I, to celebrate the very last Downton Abbey on TV series. And we had a team, we wore our hats and our pearls, and the cat kind of took over the picture. So I did it. Anyway, I can see all these things I should have done differently, but it was a fun project.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that.
Well, this is my daughter's dog, so this is my friend dog. What? Oh, okay. His name is River. It says, "I'm so sorry," and it's because he killed a squirrel, and then he buried the squirrel, but he wasn't sorry for either one of those. He was sorry because my daughter noticed a piece of fur sticking up in the vegetable garden, and he got caught.
And this one was my cat. This one was Ice, but I used AI inspiration to get the body armor on him. And then this is my feral. His name is Trouble.
Nice.
Debbie and Ann and Leonie. Is Leonie here? Okay, okay, you're number 3. Okay.
In this grouping.
All right. This is a painting that I started.
I can't hear you. Talk this.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to make sure I was in there. Okay, so I started this painting like a long time ago. It originally started with just the dresser and the window and that sort of thing. It's from that old mansion that's at South Sugar Pine State Park up in Lake Tahoe. So that's the background. And then over the years, I'm like, oh, it needs something, and I added the cat, and then just this year, I added the little girl. Right there looking. So it's kind of like a compliment. Every couple of years, I add a little more.
I have that exact same buffet dresser.
Yeah, someone else?
Yeah.
Shirley said she had the same one,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
This is, my grandson took this picture, won first prize at the fair for the photo. But it's not finished. I usually paint landscapes, so this is something new for me. And so I'm still working on the fur.
Very nice.
Hi, my name is Leonie and I'm new. I met Patty at the studio tour. And I do clay, and this was like one of my first pots, a very bad pot, so I made a cat and a mouse on it. Then this is a little bit better one, that it's a little dog. And I gave it to my friend, she's in Italy right now, so she couldn't loan it to me.
Well, welcome to our group. You're going to fit right in. Yeah.
And I've got one. Is there anybody I missed? Everybody got there? Okay. This is, can you see?
Yes.
This is my bunkie. This is when she was a puppy, a little doxy, and the name of this is Going Home. Picked her up and I was taking her home. This is 1981 when I got her. She lived 14 years. I loved her and she loved me, and it was a great connection, so I sculpted her.
And is it ceramic?
It is, yes. Yeah, it's ceramic.
It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, we still have 5 minutes. What's that? Oh, the flowers. Okay. Gotta give away the flowers. Okay, we got 2 of them to give away. Thank you to Carolyn and someone who doesn't want to be mentioned.
No, that was for the book.
Okay, her initials are Donna Nelson. Okay, we have got 26, number 20, we've got 26. So, Marlene, pick a number between 1 and 26.
17.
17 is Linnell.
I told her I didn't want to be number 1 because I don't ever win if I'm number 1. Yeah, Marlene.
Yay, okay, Linnell got one.
Okay, there's a from the garden, and there's a from the florist.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I will take whichever one the other person doesn't want.
That is just beautiful, Linnell. Just beautiful.
And I'm not even wearing a
To
Be
my
Kind
eye.
sweatshirt today.
Okay, 1 to 26. Forget 17. Donna, you pick the number.
This Donna?
Yeah,
That
between
Donna.
1 and 26, not 17.
7.
7. 7 is Pam DeFlippo.
Where is she? Pam?
Pam is still here.
Pam's not here. Yeah, you leave, it doesn't matter. Okay. 9 is Roberta.
Oh.
All right, Roberta, you take first choice, and I'll take second.
So surprised. Okay, and with that, we can wrap this up. It's been a great meeting.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.